Today I'm going to show you how to get the keypad hacker, very briefly giving you the footnotes and then explain a bit more detail about how to get up to level 3 and find a schematic for it. Of course in Abiotic Factor. So the short version, the keypad hacker is made out of 3 major components, and all 3 of these components require a computation brick that you need some of the security CPUs. There's 4 of these mechs that patrol the office sector. They only patrol at night time, but you can lure them out of their stations. They only do close up damage, so as long as you've got ranged weapons you can try taking them out. This has benefits of increasing your XP for accuracy and reloading. But if you run out of arrows, and bearing in mind it's quite slow, it's going to be a long process. The best way to deal with them is crafting the Choppinator. It's a self-defense item that you should get relatively early just by finding the components and unlocking the recipe, and as long as it's powered up with a battery or the many power points that you can lure the robots along their path, it'll take quick work of them. You can help out obviously with ranged weapons, and they're also damaged by electricity too. In level 3 of the facility that you first explore, there is some electrified water, so if you get them to follow you, you can actually kite them onto it and kill them pretty easily. There's 4 robots in total, 1 on this level, 1 on this second level, and then 2 pretty much on the facility level near the canteen, and another corridor going to manufacturing west. So remember, you need at least 3 of the CPUs, and then using components like tech scrap, some of the circuit boards and fans that you've gotten from smashing up PCs, you can then craft computation bricks, and you'll need other things like keyboards, phones, some of the nails, as well as a glow stick. These are all relatively simple and easy to find in the early game. If the recipe is not actually popping up for the keypad hacker, you may need to go and speak to a certain NPC on level 3. Dr. Mayfield here will unlock the recipe for it and encourage you to unlock Silo 3's door to progress to the next zone. You can see the infrared transmitter, the LCD screen, as well as the controller have also unlocked with the computation brick too, so you may need to do the research minigame to full get the crafting recipes. And that pretty much is the short answer on how to get it. You can go ahead and craft the 3 components like I said using the resources, and then you'll be able to go ahead and make the hacker. Before you move on to the next zone, make sure you go and find some of the other keypad class 1 areas and obviously unlock and get some more extra loot. And you'll be upgrading this keypad to gain access to level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5 keys in future. So if you want more tips than that, let's take a look on how to get up to level 3 and find the NPC. So from the main reception area, you're going to turn right, go up these stairs here and straight on. You're now on level 2 and you're going to be going left once you've taken care of the peccary or maybe some pests that patrol this area. You can of course explore as well, but let's focus on just getting up to level 3 once we've taken care of this guy. So once he's dead, go past the shocking wire there and keep following the corridor around, and you'll be in this small security area which you can open up with the keypad, and it's a really good base spot. You'll need a power brick battery to open up the door that we've just gone through here, and you can see that there's a shortcut back to the main reception on the left. Otherwise we're going to actually go up here on the lift to level 3. This will get you into level 3. But you are going to have to take a trip into the antiverse. Once we've come out the antiverse, you'll unlock the shortcut for that door that we just couldn't get through, giving you much easier access to level 3, but also being able to turn on the lift that will take you directly up to level 3. So jump into the portal, you'll be taking on the Exor monks. This time these guys fire with a ranged gear, so you want to make sure you've got some armor maybe potentially, or you're definitely good at dodging using a crossbow. For sure, use the trees to your advantage to take cover rather than being in the open too much, unless you know you're going to be able to take it out rapidly. The shots it fires will hit you back a fair distance if you're using a shield, which if you're in the unfortunate position of being on the edges, it could actually knock you off. They are more weak against blunt damage weapons, so that might be something to consider. Make sure you carve them up, as you've still got a chance of getting an Exor heart from them. There should be 2 that you have to deal with. Make sure you pick up some of the antiverse wheat, it's the main point of coming through here as well, to help start crafting things like medical syringes, as well as growing super tomatoes, which are obviously really good for better foods. Rinse and repeat, killing the second one. Activate the voice recording message, and you can even build a base here if you really want to, if you like the environment. although it is a little bit out of the way. And then that's pretty much it. Just head into the portal out here. You'll be teleported to a pipe in level 3 beyond the door that you couldn't open earlier. You can just go ahead and drop down, follow the sign for Silo 2, watching out for sneaky pests, and do make sure you open this door. As I said, it gives you another way to get back up here. And then if you go back the other way, you need to jump across the electrified water. This is again the place that I mentioned earlier that you can lure one of the robots that patrols up here on level 3. There's also a check-in, as this place is littered with enemies in the offices and more if you want to go ahead and explore them. Keep going straight after you've maybe explored past this recharge point. You should see the signs saying to go to the pretty much lift access. The other direction you can take with a T-junction takes you towards where the actual mech resides during the day and a bunch of other stuff. Make sure you call the lift if it's not there when you come first time, or at least use it to go back to your base. Then head into the office and talk to Dr. Mayfield, and there you go, you've unlocked the keypad hacker. As said, you can use it to open up the security door. This is a great place for a little base, as eventually you'll be able to use the shutters and really lock yourself in here from any other enemies, as long as you can take care of some that might spawn near your crafting bench when you get raided. But the main focus of the keypad hacker is to unlock the door for Silo 3. If you've gone down in a lift previously, you'll now be able to use that lift, which comes from level 2 up to level 3. This will now lead to the Flat Hill zone, which is filled with fog and some pretty dangerous creatures, and this is how or where you're going to get your power cells. We'll be doing a separate guide for that, as it is a bit more involved exploring the second little dimension. If you do open this door a bit early, make sure, this guy gets taken out. He will respawn a bunch of times, so you may want to ignore him until you're really ready to come and explore Flat Hill. Last word on the mechs, they do respawn after a couple of days. They will also take on any peccaries or pests that they come across, so you could use that to your advantage by luring any that you found. But they'll do kind of minimal damage compared to obviously you using a Choppinator, and you'll still need to help them too. I'm using late game weapons here, so it's a little bit easier me taking him on, but it still packs a punch even with some better gear. And you will notice it's got the knife sign. They're not necessarily weak to knives, but they are more resistant to blunt damage. And you will need an energy brick if you are going to make the Choppinator. Blue circles here, shout out to the Abiotic Factor wiki, highlight where the pods or the stations are for them. So level 1, it's close to Manufacturing West corridor. Second one's pretty close to the lift that takes you up to level 3, close to Manufacturing West again. The third one's on the data farm, pretty much near the big offices, that's what I call them, the cubicles. And the fourth one on level 3 as you go towards the break room. Also, if you're really trying to conserve your actual power bricks, energy bricks, you can lure the one that roams around the reception area into the fountain if you get it just right. You can also use other traps as well, especially like the trip lines. They do a good okay amount of damage and stun, but by far the Choppinator is the best thing, and like I said, just make sure you repair it. And there we go, that's it. Go and explore, find other places to use your hacking device. My name's Jade, I've got lots of Abiotic Factor guides incoming, so make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you ratbags later.